Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Walters, and welcome to the Stress Free You Summit. And I'm kind of laughing because my guest and I were just having so much fun before we started that I'm still really happy and laughing. So, at any rate, and that's actually a good thing because our topic today is stress. And when we're stressed, we're probably not laughing so much. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. And I want to welcome you and I thank you for being here. And I'm so excited because I've gathered together 22 absolutely fantastic speakers and experts from a wide variety of fields that are here to talk about stress and the techniques and tools and things that they use and use with their clients and their family members, everybody that they work with, to so that they can help you and everyone else transform stress and experience more peace and joy and just laughter in life. Now, today, I really want to welcome you to Mark Romero. And Mark is just a treasure, truly a treasure. And so is his music. But the thing was, he was very successful in a career in the executive world and was actually a CEO until a NASA scientist recognized and tested his music and found that it had such a high vibration and was able to change negative frequencies in the air. And since that time, Mark has used his Mark Romero music and all that he creates with his CDs and his performances with, around the world with many well-respected people. He shares his music so that he can uplift the world and change the energy wherever we are. So welcome, Mark. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here today.
Awesome. Okay, so Mark, we got to talk about stress. So stress in our environment. What are your thoughts about that?
It's so interesting because when we bring up a subject like stress, we automatically go, oh, I got 5 kids. I got all these responsibilities at work. I got to get everybody out the door in time, to go to school and do the different things. But I even pull it back a level there because, we live in this modern day world filled with static and noise that's putting us in a stressful day even before we begin to worry about what might possibly happen in our day. We're already in a stressful state. Our brainwaves are already being impacted. Our physical energy is already being impacted by these chemicals in our environment, all these electronic disruptors that we've surrounded ourselves with. So in essence, we've gotten so used to being stressed, we don't even realize we're stressed anymore, even though your body still might be producing hormones and different things as a result of that stress. You don't really notice it until you go out to the forest or, go to visit my in-laws in Iowa, and then you feel the difference of being in that environment. So really it's about acknowledging that there's so much in our world and in our environment that's putting us in a stressful state, even before we get to the stuff that happens between our own thought processes that cause stress in our lives.
And that is so true. And I think many of us are completely unaware of that this is happening. It's just like we're so used to it, and almost. I'm not saying that we are consciously in a way, or we're unconscious about it in a way, but it's just like it's just there, and we don't even realize how stressed we are.
Absolutely, yeah. We literally have become used to it, and so it feels like normal to us. And like I said, we don't usually feel a difference until we get away from our environments, until we get out in a place like in nature, for example. Why do we feel so calm and grounded and centered in nature as opposed to when we're at home or at the office or driving down the 405 freeway? It's because we're literally putting ourselves in an environment that is not negatively impacting our energy systems within us and around us. So we feel the benefits of that.
Oh, and it's so true. And nature is such a key component. I mean, I know I experience as soon as I go in nature, I'm like, oh, I just live here. Because you can feel, it's like something just drops off of our energy field. So, Mark, tell us a little bit more about this negative energy, and how does your music help with the negative energy in the world around us?
Well, you think about it, we've literally have put 80,000, up to 80,000 man-made chemicals in our air, food, and water. I mean, we're literally surrounded by them constantly, being exposed to them, ingesting them, drinking them in our water, eating them in our food and these things. And they're impacting our energy. And in addition to that, and I'll get to energy in a second here, in addition to that, we've surrounded ourselves with all the latest and greatest technology, that's made our modern world so convenient. Well, we have all these disruptive waves being beamed through our living environments, or our working environments. Just think about how many Wi-Fis you see when you're going to tap into your Wi-Fi network in your neighborhood alone. All these infrared radiation, EMFs, different things are beaming through in our environment. And what scientists realize is that, we're energetic beings, okay? We're not who we see in the mirror. There's so much more to us than what we see, hear, touch, feel, and smell. We have a field of energy that surrounds our bodies. Some people call it the aura. It's been called the biofield. Within that field of energy, there are layers of energy that tie to each center energy system in the body, which of course goes out through meridians, which we know is through acupuncture and different things that we've been working on, moving that energy, that chi within the body, and that there's benefits that take place as a result. Well, that energy field is constantly trying to adjust to all these disruptive frequencies that we're being exposed to in our environment. And that disruption is causing stress. That disruption is negatively impacting our physical strength. That disruption is impacting our brainwave activity, how we remember, how we're able to tap into our creativity, our intuition, and our higher senses. And so what these scientists were looking for was a way to allow the body, the energy systems within the body, to reset themselves and be in tune and in harmony, regardless of what they're exposed to in the environment. So a former consultant to NASA, as you said, discovered these frequencies in my music that when you play it in the environment, it instantly tunes and harmonizes listeners' energy fields. And the result of that is a dramatic reduction of stress, an increase in strength, flexibility, endurance, coordination, and balance. Memory, focus, creativity, intuition are all enhanced also. And these are all byproducts of what happens when we tune our energy and when the music plays in the environment. So that's really what kind of opened up to me this whole aspect of energy and quantum physics and consciousness, and how, in essence, we really are kind of like super biological wireless computers plugged into the ultimate super internet. Well, what happens when our technology gets disconnected from the internet? We get angry at it. It doesn't operate at the level at which it was designed. The same thing's happening to you and me. And stress is a huge part of that, because we know of the detrimental effects of stress over time. So this is a great tool that we all can use to be able to keep ourselves in tune, regardless of what we're exposed to in the environment.
Wow, that is, and it's so true. I mean, I love when you talk about how your comparison to how upset we get when our technology doesn't work. And yet here's our own supercomputer that we are in our own wireless system and our own energy field. And we're like almost ignorant of, unless we're ill or something else, that we don't even know we're under all this stress. So it's just amazing that, and so fabulous too, that your music is able to circumvent that, to really go through that and transform the energies.
Well, and part of the problem is because we've been so trained and conditioned that what we experience through our senses is a scope of reality. But in reality, our senses are a very minute aspect of what's out there energetically, vibrationally. I mean, we were talking about your cat earlier. Your cat hears things and sees things that we can't hear and see. Why? Because its eyes and ears have been calibrated to receive different frequency wavelengths of vibration. And that's why the cat's able to do what it does at nighttime in the middle of the night while we're trying to sleep, but that's the scope of things, is that there's so much more to us than who and what we see in the mirror and what we experience through our senses. And unfortunately, the majority of us don't feel EMFs. We don't feel how our energy is putting out of tune. We might feel stressed out in life. That's true, but we don't even realize that our physical energy is being compromised and that our brain's not operating at the level it was designed. And that, of course, impacts all kinds of different things
Absolutely.
within ourselves.
Right, definitely. And this is I think what you're basically saying is that this is a much bigger impact than many of us realize. And we love our technologies, but they are impacting us in a way that we don't even realize. So, like, what do you recommend? What do we do?
Well, there are certainly some things that we can all do before we even open the discussion of music. It's like many of us sleep with the cell phones next to our head, at night. You don't want to do that. You don't want your alarm clock next to your body. They produce disruptive waves. They produce waves that actually the brain interprets as light. And at nighttime, when we go to sleep, you want to have a dark environment because that's what sends the message to produce melatonin and different antioxidants that are going to help you rebuild your physiology. Well, if you have all these disruptions, Wi-Fi beaming through your house, and now we virtually all have smart meters, that are beaming electronical impulses into our environment that the body interprets as light, then it doesn't send as clear a message that it's nighttime and it's time to rebuild and put the biological computer into sleep mode and to rebuild itself. So we run into these issues. We into so many things. So that's one of the first things that you can do. And then, of course, it's about drinking better quality water. It's about eating better quality food, looking at what are the chemicals and different things that you're ingesting into your body and minimizing them to the best of your ability. And what you're going to notice is you're going to start feeling better. There's a reason why we feel better when we eat organic foods and drink good quality water. Why do we feel better? It's because we're actually enhancing our flow of energy. There's so much negative stuff that has been put into our air, food, and water that it's so, we're being impacted all the time. So there are things that we can do to clean stuff up. Turn off your Wi-Fi at night. You don't need it on at nighttime. Turn it off.
Definitely.
Get those electronics away out of your sleeping environment. That's a huge one. Don't stand in front of the microwave watching the popcorn waiting for it to pop. We pretty much don't use a microwave anymore because that creates a tremendous disruptive field of energy that goes out into the environment that impacts your DNA, that impacts your cellular structure, and ultimately your energy.
Absolutely. And those are simple things that people can do that they may not even be aware of that's happening. Now, I'm going to mention this even in the interview we're recording, that for some reason, I think I think it's your internet's a little unstable. I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to hope that this is all okay. We're going to trust.
Well, I'm wired in, hardwire. I'm not on Wi-Fi or anything. So I've got pretty fast internet. So.
Yeah, I have no idea because I don't usually get it. So I'm not sure, but we're just going to trust it's all. It's fine. So, so let's get to your music. And would you be willing to share some of it with us so that we can get a sense of it, and just give all of our viewers and listeners an experience of your music so that they can really experience it firsthand? So, but almost, would you set it up for us? Because I've been on calls with you before, so that people can know their state before they actually go, experience your music, and then afterwards, let's maybe make a little test for ourselves. Would that work for you?
Absolutely. And that you bring up that's a great comment because, observe your body, just take a moment to observe your physical state. Where do you hold your stress? Where are you holding disharmony in your body? Those are pictures of disharmonious energy. Remember, all this stuff in our environments, putting our energy into a state of disharmony. And the body is the first feedback vehicle. The problem is we get so busy, we don't even observe our body and what's going on. We don't notice its nuances and what it's feeling. But if you take a moment to just take a couple breaths and just observe yourself, like right now, maybe I feel a little stress right here, or maybe you have some disharmony that's showing up somewhere. Maybe sometimes it shows up a lot in the lower back or in the shoulder area, in the neck area. Just notice it. Notice your state and just take a moment to bring yourself to this moment. See if you're holding stress anywhere else in your body. And just take a couple deep breaths.
Yep, I feel it in the back of my neck, at the bottom of top of my cervical spine.
So what we want to do is I'm going to play a little piece, and I want you just to breathe through it. Maybe even set the intention to just kind of let it go and let it dissipate out of your experience, so to speak, and just focus on your breathing. So as I play the piece, just breathe and notice your body, and then we'll meet up on the other side of this. So just take some nice deep breaths. So just take a couple nice deep breaths. And there you go.
Oh, that was awesome. Then again, with our connection, it was just a little iffy. However, it didn't matter because it felt like your music was transforming the energies that were connecting with, even with our internet connection. They're working on them. It really felt like that. But then when I was able to let that go, and just I found myself in nature, and I was just feeling that, seeing the green around me everywhere. And then I literally felt, even though I was sitting here right, in my office, that I was in nature and felt that soothing quality of nature. So fantastic. That was just so beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah, it did. And I mean, that was just a few minutes. And what a gift that you have, Mark. And so thank you for sharing it with the world. I mean, because it's just, a few minutes. So what do you recommend, that people play your music in the background in their offices, or, in their, what do you recommend?
That's certainly a great way to go. I mean, I think one of the key points, I think many families will agree, or people, is that morning time, when we have a tendency to get rushy and get a little stressed out. Maybe we're trying to get the kids together for school and all that stuff. We play the music every morning when we have breakfast together, when it's time to get the kids out the door, when it's time to get out and go do the things that we're going to do in work or whatever. And so that's a great moment of time. And then, when you're in the car commuting, especially if you live, like I live in Southern California, well, you're up in the Bay Area, you get traffic and stuff. It's great there. Talk about stress inducing, right? Well, It's a great way to just plug it in the car. I've had many people tell me that this is the cure for road rage. I have executives that played in the office. I have doctors that play the music in the office because, let's face it, when we go to the doctors or the dentist, we're stressed out because we don't want to be there. Well, they play in the office to help their patients have more of an enjoyable, relaxed sense. And so I get a tremendous feedback on that. Nighttime's great. Prior to going to sleep, doing some breathing, deepening your meditative practice. Heck, I even had a guy send me a note, tell me that it was the natural alternative to Viagra. I'm serious. Listen, he told me about lighting some candles for his wife and playing the music, and I'm like, okay, well, that's a heck of a testimonial.
For sure, and I love it. I mean, so but you can see it is so transformative. I mean, it just changes the environment of where we are, and also what I'm noticing is it's changed our internet connection environment. So whatever you did, the music cleared the air. It's really fun. It's fascinating. So maybe it's actually a good point for all of us to see how whatever it was between the connection now afterwards, you're much more animated and all of that. So awesome. So Mark, we mentioned earlier, you told me you have a really great story to share. But you didn't tell me the story, so I'd love to hear it, which is like, this is going to, our people are doing this right before the holidays, before Thanksgiving and Christmas, when we're with families and we're busy. And most people think of it, they want it to be a happy time of year, but it can also be very stressful. So how does your music help with the family and the holiday times?
Well, that's true, because nobody stirs stuff up like family. I mean, family events can be very stressful. So there was a gentleman that I had met at the gym. I told him what I did. He was very skeptical, but he still got a CD. And so I saw him like a few months later. It was after the holidays and stuff. We're in the gym, and he goes, I got to share this story with you. He goes, every year for the last 25 years, we get together for Thanksgiving, and there's a fight and an argument every single year. Somebody gets pissed off at somebody, starts hollering, saying some, colorful metaphors and different things. He said, so I decided this year I'm going to see about this music. I played the music during Thanksgiving and just looped it, And he said, and this was the first year in 25 years, nobody fought. Nobody got angry. He said it was almost like we were relaxed, calmer, more focused, connected. And I thought, wow, what a great testimonial, especially coming from a guy who was skeptical to begin, that music could have an impact on the environment and make a difference in people's stress levels and their stress and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's the beauty of it. You can use it to transform the environment. You can use it to calm it. Because, especially with family stuff and holidays, it's a very stressful time. You want to use everything you can to minimize that stress level so that you can enjoy it. Really, the holidays are made for enjoying. And unfortunately, because of the stress and the things that can show up in family dynamics and get-togethers and rushing around like crazy, sometimes we let that joy get away with the busyness of the season.
That's a fabulous testimonial. And it really is true, especially when it's coming from someone who's like, really questioning how this could possibly work. So for them to actually have experienced it, and I think folks who are here, our viewers and listeners, they've actually had the experience. So hopefully they'll be able to, enjoy your music even more. So Mark, tell us a little bit. I know you have a free gift for everyone, and I'd love to hear what you're sharing with all of our viewers and listeners.
Well, interestingly enough, it's a great little stress reduction package. It's kind of funny. So there's a little guided process in combination with healing music to help you release stress out of the body and be more grounded and focused and just let go of any tension that you might have. It's a very intentional process. So that's in there. So like maybe a 10-minute little process, great thing to do if you find yourself, nearing that cliff edge or even falling over it, to go through that little process to help reduce stress. There's also a track of high vibration music. This is a track of music that the scientists first discovered these frequencies in the music. So give you an opportunity to play some music, to help harmonize your environment, to help you to reduce your stress levels. And then thirdly, there's a little inspirational movie, because a big part of my work is all about helping people tap into their greatness and their magnificence. And we got to have a good connection and good energy in order to make that a possibility. So there's a little inspirational movie, just a little something to inspire you, help you reduce your stress, yes, but also to inspire you and take on, we know the challenges that day-to-day life is going to bring to us from time to time. So there you go. That's my free gift.
Oh, awesome. Look at all that. I mean, it's just like, thank you for your generosity in that, because I know the thought and the love and the care that you put into it so that people can relieve their stress, whether it's, at a crazy time in their day, or they've just gotten home from work, or they're at work and they're like, have to work overtime or whatever. And they just need that sort of boost to recharge. What a way to do that. and then having access to your music. And Mark, where else can you give us the name of your website, because so people can get connect to your Mark music, because it's so fabulous, and also with you because you have this your work with coaching people, helping them. It's more than just your music. I mean, your work is expanding more than just your music. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's really about helping people restore harmony in their lives. All of our challenges, all the breakdowns, whether their health, whether their relationship, whether their prosperity, those are all out pictures of being in disharmony. So the work I do is about helping people tune and harmonize their lives, so they can bring their music, their expression, their authentic selves out and express them in a more beautiful. We all want to be more successful. We all want to have higher levels of fulfillment, joy, and passion in our lives. And that's really where I kind of directed this technology. And over the years, I've really developed a powerful transformational technology through music that is helping me to help people to get in touch with their greatness and their magnificence and their unlimited potential to compose the life of their dreams. So if you'd like to learn more, you can go to the website, which is Mark with a K, Romero, Romero, music.com. MarkRomeroMusic.com. There's all kinds of videos demonstrating the effects of the music, how it shifts your physical energy. You can learn more about energy disruptors, how to eliminate the negative effects, and ultimately how to rise above the most powerful disruptor of them all. And those are our lovely little stories that we all hold here that say we're not good enough or don't deserve the best in life. And I literally help use music to help people overcome the static and noise in their environment and the static and noise in their own belief structures.
Oh, it's wonderful. And I think what I really love about this too is that you're actually helping people to use their technologies that we have, because we're not going to get rid of our cell phones and our iPads and all that. But your music, listening to your music through their technologies, you're connecting both, so that it really can that people can support themselves, so they're not feeling so stressed, and they can feel that joy and really come back into harmony within themselves. So I love it. I thank you. I mean, anything else you want to share before we close? Anything that's burning that you just haven't had a chance to mention?
Well, I think that, we need to realize that our state of being, how we're being every day, is what creates our experience. And if you want to change your experience, you have to change your state of being. Well, this is a great way to get started, just by eliminating the negative effects of all the stuff in the environment that, whether we acknowledge it or not, is impacting our state of being. I mean, we need to be on an optimal level, really, to bring our music, our passion, our self-expressions, to powerfully impact our families, our relationships, the people that we worked with. So imagine what the world would be like if we were to restore harmony. And that begins within each and every one of us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's with the work that I do, people with self-love, it is totally that. It has to start with ourselves. And once we're in harmony with ourselves and our own environment, then that just spreads everywhere we go. Then the road rage doesn't happen. Then the arguments with the family at Thanksgiving don't happen. Then the wars in the world can stop. But it starts with each of us.
Absolutely. Spoken like a true wise sage.
Thank you so much. Mark, thank you again for being here. It was absolutely lovely. Thank you for sharing your music and everything that you do with your music at markromero.com. And everyone that's been listening, thank you. I know you've taken away. Even the experience of Mark's music has really changed your day. And so come back and listen to this again and again, and get Mark's free gift. Enjoy it. Get his CDs. Talk with him. You'll really thank you for doing so. Have a wonderful day till we see you again. Namaste.
Thank you.